Hey fashion lovers, I'm so excited to have you back on my channel. Today we are diving into a fabulous project. I'll be guiding you through the steps to draft this beautiful basque waistline ruched dress. If this is what you love to learn, stay tuned. So I went ahead to draft the basic body, which I made it to the full length. I have the full bodies from the shoulder to the leg. Let me label. Let's see. So I have the bust line. I have the under bust line. You have the half length, the hip line, then our dress length. We have the dress length. So after this, we have our normal neck. I did three. I mirrored the pattern first. I mirrored it as I took out normal way we used to do it. Take your full pattern, fold into two, then draft on the unfold part, which when you open later you have the full block. That's the opened body. So I did the neckline 3 over 3 at 3.5 over 3.5, and the shoulder also. This is a cut together shoulder. So I think there's no sleeve. It's a cut together sleeve. So what we do now, I did the armhole. We have to extend. I need to extend the shoulder line, extend it with a straight through. Just extend just the way I'm doing it. So after you've extended this line, what you do is to measure. Remember, you measure from your back neck. That's the bone, center bone on your back, to where you want your sleeve to end. That's how long you want it. So I did mine and I wanted 12. What I did was to measure my 12 inches. I did my 3 points. I placed the tape on the 3.5 points on the neckline, and I measured 12 inches. Then after that, I came to my underbust. I measured my underbust divided by 4, which I marked like so. My underbust divided by 4. I will impute my bust measurement later. My underbust divided by 4. I did this. I had to measure the half length. My half length divided by 4. I have it as an 8.5. The hip, I did the hip line divided by 4, which is 10.5 also. Like so, I imputed it. So what I was having on the hip line, I extended it to the dress length. So I had to mark the same length I have on the hip line on the dress length. I'm not removing this time because it's a free dress. So on the upper part, what we do now is to mark the sleeve part. So you just make a straight through from that, just what the way I'm doing it, from your under bust line down to the the sleeve length. What do I'm doing it, but meanwhile I'm imputing my bust length, my bust measurements, which is bust divided by 4. I did that, then I made a straight through from this point to the other point, just like so, which I later added half an inch on my length. That's the sleeve length, just like this, making it 12.5. I just used the full pattern as a full length of the pattern. So after doing this, we've gotten it like so. Then you can curve. It's up to you. You can make a curve on your, you can make a curve or a straight through, but I use the straight rule. So after you've done this, you connect the underbust to the half length with a straight rule. Then from the half length to the hip length. So which I did, I had to join the half length to the hip line. And sorry, the underbust to the hip half length. Then the hip line. I created the hip line just like so. Then I extended from the hip line down to the dress length to the straight rule. Just the way I'm doing it, like this. The straight rule. Okay, so after we are done with this, what we need to do next is to look for the backs. That's, we need to create the backs effect. So what I did, the way I created mine, you can do it anyhow you want, but what I did was to, from the waistline I came down by 2.5. You can do any one you want. You can do 3 inches, you can do 1.5, you can do 1 inch, but I did on this pattern 2.5. Then after which I used a curve rule. The way I'm placing it like so, I place the curve rule just like this. Watch the way I'm doing it. Then make a curve. That's a curve from the 2.5 down to the hip line, just like this. Make sure the hip line side is curved just like this, the way I'm doing it like so. You can choose to go down, it's up to you. You can choose to go down, you can just leave it under, and that's the hip line. It's just how you want it, but this one I'm leaving it on the hip line just like this. So after you've done this, what you need to do next is to mark and cut out. But meanwhile, before you cut out, you need to create the lines. Let's outline so you see. Just outline it like this, just like so. Make a straight row. So after this, now we need to create the lines. Mark label as 1, pattern 1, then 2, the down part as 3, the 3. So we'll create the line on all these patterns. So what I did now was to create on this back side, just the way I'm doing it. You can measure how long you want it. So I just made a straight rule. I did not, there's no fixed measurement for this, because we are imputing the splash and spread effects. So I just measure what I have, then make a rule. I just ruled it just the way I'm doing it, because we are doing splash and spread. It's not must you must have a fixed measurement. I just did a straight rule just the way I'm doing it like so. You can choose to measure, but I did not. So after doing this, I labeled it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we've gotten this, we'll be having our pleats on that side. So what we do next is to label the upper part. That's to rule the upper part. I marked rules on this upper part also, which will be having our sleeve, sorry, as the cut together sleeve, just like a shift dress. We just mark a straight rule, just like so. Mark a rule. You can just divide it into 3 or 4 and spread wide, but mine, I'm just doing it like this because I don't, in fact, I like doing it like this, not too wide. So after that, I went down straight to the down part. I created a rule on the down part also, a straight rule on the down part, just the way I'm doing it like so. Straight rule down to the dress length, just like this. Mark a rule. You can choose to take your measurements. You measure around there, that's the back side. Then what you have, you divide on how you want it. But me, I'm just placing the rule and marking the straight rule. I did not take any measurements, please. So after you're done doing this, we will label also. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just found out that I got everything at 777. But what you can have any figure. It's not must. It must be a round figure. So what I did was to copy. I had to use tracing wheel to copy it to the other side, which you will have in it like so. I copied to the other side because I will open it. So after this, we marked again. Label this other side also as 1, 2, 3, which will now spread open like so. We'll cut first before spreading open. So I had to cut it. We have to cut from the underbust side, because that is where we have that tightening from the underbust. So we cut from here, just the way I'm doing it, like this. Then the basque area, and the dress length, that's the down part of the dress. So after we're done doing this, so what we need to do next is to splash open. So let's open the pattern like this. We're cutting it as open, that's we've mirrored it and opened it, so we have it as a full front. Now we have the other one also as a full front. But meanwhile, sorry, before cutting this, you had to cut facing before slashing open. That is, before you open this top, you had to cut a facing for it before you slash open, facing for the front before splash open. Then if you want to do the back, you know how you because you can still use the same pattern to cut both the front and the back. I'll show that later. So mark your midpoints, which I just did. Then we'll go to the up, middle and down. So let's keep all this aside. Let's keep the down part and the basque side aside. Then we'll work on the upper part, which is the front upper part. So we need to slash all the lines we have. We need to slash it open. We need to bring a fresh pattern paper, which I later changed. This was too small for me. I had to bring a bigger one. So after that, you splash just the way I'm doing it. Open it to the end. Just open it. Meanwhile, right, make sure you label, number all your lines. So when you're returning it back on the fresh pattern, you won't make any mistake. So just open like this. Cut all open, spread like so, just open it. So after which I got a fresh pattern, a new pattern, then I marked the midpoints. Just I rolled it, then the I placed the mid, and that's the center front on the midpoint, just like so, the way I did it. Then you determine how wide you want your gathers to be. You can choose to do 1.5. It's your choice. You can choose to, depend on how full you want your gathers. You can choose 1.5, you can choose 2 inches. For mine, I'm doing 1 inch, so I'm doing 1 inches in between. Or you can choose to make it as wide as you like. It's up to you, but I'm doing 1 inch opening, like 1 inch wide on both the upper part and the down part. So I'll have to be, you'll be picking, see, because that's why we fixed in, like we had to label, we numbered it, so that by the time you're placing like this, you know the number that is coming after the order. So we've gotten our 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. You place it till you finish all. So I'll go ahead to splash and bring back for us to see. So I went ahead, I splashed it. This is what I'm having. Look at our neckline, which later when you gather, you have it as this. But if you want to cut your back side, sorry, you can use the same pattern to cut your back side. It's just for you to measure from the center neckline, go up by 3.5, then come down by 1 inch, then connect back as your back neckline. Before, you have to cut the back before cutting the front on this pattern. So I did my 1 inch, which you're seeing like so, 1 inches. Then after gather, when you gather, you have it back to your 12.5. I don't know if you're getting this. After you gather, we're having like 6 inches extra for the gathers, because I don't want mine to be too full like that. So when I gather, I'll have it back as that same part. So after that, you keep this aside and let's do the basque area. So when we've gotten the basque area as 1 to 7, 1 to 7, sorry. So what we'll do now is to splash open. We're having it as pleats. I'm doing this as pleats and not gathers, just a little pleat. So I had to slash open the lines just the way I'm doing it. Just slash open the lines like so. So place it on the pattern paper. Put all the pieces on the pattern paper. Meanwhile, remember to fold again the pattern paper and look for the midpoint, because that is where you'll be placing all your patterns. That's the pieces, just the way you arrange it. You arrange it like this. So you need to mark a midpoint also on the new pattern you're using to do the splash. The splash. You can do this on a fabric. It's just up to you. If you can do it on your fabric, you can just place it on fabric like this and cut out. So after this, you pleat, sorry. So I went ahead to do that and I got the back. I did the down part also, which we're having like so. We have the upper part like this. Then remember the way I said you should cut the back. If you want to cut the back, you're using this for the back also. That's why I didn't cut open the neckline. I did not make the neckline open. I had to leave it closed like that. So when after cutting the back, I'll cut the front. You do the gathers on all the sides like so. Please, if you've not followed us, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Like, comment and share. Thank you so much and God bless you. So after which you do your gathers on the down part, just like this. The neckline for the front, you have gathers. Even on the back also you have gathers like so. You can choose to draft the back. Just if you are drafting the back, it's the same way as the front also, just the same way. So after we should cutting it like this, the center, like, and the basque area is pleated the same 1 inch. I left 1 inch on the basque, the space, sorry. Then you just fold in half an inch as the pleat, just to make the full, the dump and the basque area look like pleat. So after you're done this, you just gather like so till you get to your normal length. That's the length which you took for the basque. Make sure you write the length down. That's when we are drafting, write the length of all the basque length, the shoulder length. So when you are when you are doing your gathers, remember you remember the length which you need, even on the down part too. The length you need for to make sure they are all same with your measurements. So you do it like this. You'll be having it like this. After that, you have the front part like so, and the down part also we did a splash and spread on the down part. Every pattern is 1 inch space. I left 1 inch for the spread. So have it like this. Make sure if you are joining them, you have your center front of your upper part and the basque side joining the center front of the down parts. Then the upper part also you have it also as the center front. So I think we've come to the end of this video. Please subscribe to our channel and thank you for watching this. By the time you gather, you'll be having this like you'll be having it like so, just the way it is like this. The gathers will come like so, then you have that effect. Then you can use this. Remember I said you can use the same pattern to cut the back side, but if you cannot do it, you can also draft the way I drafted the front part. You can draft the back like so, but you know what to do on the back, like the zipper bunch and all that. But the zipper bunch is not on the back. The back is on fold also. You have the zip on the side. That's the side, you have the zip. So you're putting your 1 inch on the sides. The back is on fold, but you have the down part is not on fold, but the basque area is on fold. The upper part also is on. You have the upper part also, which you fix your button. You have a little slit on the back, which you fix it so you can pass it on your neck. But the zip is on the side. You're having the zip on the side. It's up to you. If you still want to have it on the back, it's just for you to open slit your back. That's open your back to have a zipper on the back. But me, I'll prefer the side. So we've come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching this, and please see you on my next video. Thank you so much. God bless you.